Hello students, welcome back. Now today we are going to learn a very interesting poem. The name of the poem is The Quarrel. Now we all know what is the meaning of quarrel, right? What is it? To fight with someone, right? Now this poem is written by Eleanor Fergion, and in this poem the poet is talking about an incident that happens with him and his brother. Now students, isn't it common for us to fight with our siblings? We keep fighting with them all the time, right? Sometimes for the remote control, sometimes for food, sometimes even for who will sit where, who will talk to whom, or maybe for games that we will play this game. Someone will say, no, I want to play this game. Sometimes for the TV, sometimes for the computer, sometimes for the phone, right? So every day our siblings keep fighting, brothers, sisters, right? So it is very common. So over here the poet is talking about one such incident. Here, it is common for brothers and sisters to quarrel, although sometimes they may not even be able to say why they quarrel. But how long do such quarrels last? How do they end? Now many a times students, don't you find yourself fighting with your brothers and sisters and then not talking to each other for many days? And then you even forget that why you fought in the first place, right? It happens many times, even with me and my sister. We fight for the littlest of things. For example, if she wore my dress, I will get very angry. That why did you wear my dress without asking me? Why did you touch my things, right? And then we will go on fighting and fighting. And then after 2 days, we will even forget that why we were fighting. But still we won't be talking to each other. But does that decrease our love for each other? No, right? So over here the poet is going to talk about one such incident. Let us see what he is saying. I quarreled with my brother. I don't know what about. One thing led to another and somehow we fell out. Now over here the poet is saying that he fought with his brother. Now he doesn't even remember about what they fought. But then one thing led to another means he fought for one thing, and then related to that they fought for another thing. Again they fought, they kept on fighting. So from one point to another they kept on fighting, and finally they fell out. Fell out means they stopped talking. The start of it was slight, the end was strong. He said he was right, I knew he was wrong. So the poet is saying that they started fighting because of a very little thing, very slight, very little thing. But then they kept on fighting and fighting and it became a huge thing, right? Then he says that his brother says that he is right. But the poet says that no, I know that he is wrong. Now obviously when we are fighting, we always think that we are right, the other person is wrong, isn't it? So similarly the same thing is happening over here. The poet thinks that he is right and his brother thinks that he is right. Okay, let us recite all these lines again once, come on. I quarreled with my brother, I don't know what about. One thing led to another and somehow we fell out. The start of it was slight, the end of it was strong. He said he was right, I knew he was wrong. So this is all about how they started fighting. We hated one another. The afternoon turned black. Then suddenly my brother thumped me on the back. Now the poet is saying that they kept on fighting, and at a point they thought that they hated each other. But students, remember, that never really happens. You never hate your siblings. Love is always there. But sometimes when you fight, you feel like you hate your sibling. But that is never really going to happen. So here also the poet is saying that we started hating each other. And the afternoon turned black. What is the meaning of that? That our mood was spoiled. It does not mean that the afternoon was black. No. Here it is a phrase which means that their mood was very bad because they were fighting. Obviously when we fight with our siblings, our mood becomes bad. Then suddenly my brother thumped me on the back. So suddenly his brother came and thumped means hit him on the back and said, what did he say? And said, oh come along, we can't go on all night. I was in the wrong. So he was in the right. Now the poet is saying that suddenly his brother came and said that, oh come on, now let us stop this. We cannot keep on fighting all day or all night, right? He said that, okay fine, I will accept that I was wrong. So the poet says that yes, now you are right, because you accepted that you are wrong. And at the end, who was proven right? The poet was proven right. Again, let us read the lines once again, students. We hated one another. The afternoon turned black. Then suddenly my brother thumped me on the back and said, oh, come along. We can't go on all night. I was in the wrong. So he was in the right. This is what the poet is saying, that he was right because he accepted that it was his mistake. He was wrong. That is why he was right. Okay, students. So this is a short poem where the poet is explaining an incident which happened with his sibling. Even we have experienced all such experiences, right? So I want you to think about it, and when we meet, I want you to tell me about such incidents. Okay, now I will see you in our next class. Till then, bye bye.